Hello, dear viewers and fellow soap opera enthusiasts. It's your favorite team here at the TV Days Drama Digest channel, where we dive deep into the swirling vortex of intrigue, romance, and jaw-dropping revelations that make daytime television an absolute obsession. We've been glued to our screens, dissecting every glance, every whisper, and every plot twist from the iconic town of Salem in Days of Our Lives. And today, oh boy, do we have a sizzling topic that's got our hearts racing and our minds spinning with possibilities. We're talking about none other than the enigmatic Foster. Yes, that charming yet shadowy figure who's just dropped the bombshell decision to plant his roots firmly in Salem instead of packing up and heading west. But wait, is there more to this man than meets the eye? Could there be a hidden layer of mystery lurking beneath his polished exterior? And what about that tantalizing connection to the legendary Stefano D'Mera? Buckle up, folks, because we're about to unpack this drama in exquisite, pulse-pounding detail. Let's discuss it together, shall we? Grab your popcorn, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and join us on this wild ride through the labyrinth of Salem secrets. First off, let's set the stage for those who might need a quick refresher, or for the newcomers who've just stumbled into the addictive world of Days of Our Lives. Salem, that picturesque yet perpetually perilous Midwestern town, has seen its fair share of comas, kidnappings, resurrections, and romantic entanglements that could make even the most seasoned viewer dizzy. Enter Foster, a man who arrived on the scene like a gentle breeze, but one that carries the faint whisper of a storm on the horizon. He's not your typical Salem newcomer, no dramatic entrance by a helicopter crash or mysterious amnesiac awakening. Instead, Foster slipped into town with a quiet determination, tied to the local bookstore that has become a surprising hub of activity. But recent episodes have cranked up the drama to 11, leaving us all on the edge of our seats. Picture this. The scene unfolds in the cozy confines of the hospital room, where the sterile white walls and beeping monitors provide a stark contrast to the emotional fireworks exploding between characters. Foster, our central figure, lies there recovering from a harrowing health scare that had us all holding our breath. It wasn't just any minor ailment, no, this was a full-blown crisis triggered by an injury at the very bookstore that's become the epicenter of his storyline. The details are deliciously vivid, shelves toppling like dominoes in a chaotic symphony, books scattering across the floor like fallen leaves in autumn, and Foster caught in the midst of it all, clutching his side as pain shoots through him like a bolt of lightning. Who could forget that moment when Julie, ever the compassionate soul with a heart as big as Salem itself, rushes to his aid? She doesn't hesitate for a second, bundling him into her car and speeding to the hospital, her face etched with worry lines that speak volumes about her growing affection. It's the kind of heroism that soaps do best, raw, unfiltered, and laced with unspoken desires. As Foster emerges from this ordeal, he's transformed. He declares himself a new man, his voice carrying a renewed vigor that sends shivers down our spines. Gratitude pours from him like an overflowing fountain, directed squarely at Julie for her life-saving intervention. "You saved me," he might as well have whispered, though the show teases us with lingering looks and tentative touches that say so much more. This health scare isn't just a plot device, it's a catalyst, a turning point that reshapes Foster's entire trajectory. Originally, the plan was clear: pack up his life in Salem and relocate to sunny California, where his son has serendipitously landed a promising job. It seemed like the perfect exit strategy. A fresh start away from the town's endless web of complications. But no, in a twist that had us cheering or gasping, depending on your allegiance, Foster announces he's staying put. Salem's gravitational pull proves too strong, or perhaps it's Julie's magnetic presence that's anchoring him here. Now, let's delve deeper into this decision, because nothing in Days of Our Lives is ever as straightforward as it seems. Foster's choice to remain in Salem isn't just about convenience or family logistics, it's dripping with subtext and potential foreshadowing. His son finding employment in California could have been the ideal excuse to bow out gracefully, severing ties with the town's turbulent history. Yet, here he is, recommitting to Salem with a fervor that feels almost defiant. Is it the allure of unfinished business? The bookstore, that quaint establishment filled with dusty tomes and hidden alcoves, plays a pivotal role here. Julie, with her keen business acumen and warm demeanor, has been eyeing it as a potential acquisition. And Foster? He could reclaim it if he wanted. The ownership ties are still tangled in his favor. But in a move that's both noble and suspiciously self-sacrificing, he insists he doesn't want it back. "You're the best owner for it," he tells her, his eyes locking onto hers with an intensity that screams hidden motives. Julie supports him wholeheartedly, her encouragement a balm to his recovering spirit, but we can't help but wonder, is this generosity genuine, or a clever ploy to ingratiate himself further into her life, and by extension, Salem's inner circle? But here's where the real drama ignites, my fellow digesters. No one waltzes into Salem without a suitcase full of secrets stashed away in the shadows. This town is built on layers of deception, where every smile hides a skeleton, and every alliance masks a betrayal waiting to unfold. Foster, with his affable charm and seemingly straightforward backstory, is no exception. We've seen it time and again. Characters like him start as benign additions to the canvas, only to reveal themselves as pivotal players in grander schemes. So, what could Foster be hiding? Let's speculate wildly, as we love to do here at TV Day's Drama Digest. Could it be a long-lost connection to one of Salem's infamous families? Or perhaps a personal vendetta simmering beneath the surface, ready to boil over at the most inopportune moment? And speaking of connections, we simply cannot ignore the elephant in the room, or should I say, the phoenix in the D'Mera mansion? Stefano D'Mera, the ultimate puppet master of Salem, whose influence lingers like a ghost even in his absences. The mere whisper of a link between Foster and Stefano sends our imaginations into overdrive. Is Foster a long-forgotten D'Mera relative, perhaps a half-brother or a distant cousin who's been biding his time? Stefano's web of intrigue spans generations, with illegitimate children, secret experiments, and corporate espionage that could fill volumes. Imagine the drama if Foster turns out to be entangled in that legacy. Maybe he was once a pawn in one of Stefano's elaborate games, brainwashed or manipulated into forgetting his true identity. Or perhaps it's more personal. Did Foster cross paths with Stefano in some shadowy business deal gone wrong, leading to a grudge that now draws him back to Salem for revenge? Let's paint this picture in even more vivid strokes. Envision a flashback sequence, because soaps adore those, where a younger Foster, wide-eyed and ambitious, encounters the formidable Stefano in a dimly lit European cafe or a high-stakes boardroom. Words are exchanged, alliances forged or shattered, and seeds of mystery planted. Fast forward to now, Foster's health scare at the bookstore. Was it truly an accident or a staged event to draw Julie closer, positioning himself as a vulnerable hero in need of her care? The injury details are ripe for suspicion. A falling bookcase that just happens to strike at the perfect moment, leaving him incapacitated but not fatally wounded. Coincidence? In Salem, there are no coincidences, only carefully orchestrated plots. Julie and Foster's budding romance adds another layer of delicious tension. Their chemistry is palpable, building slowly like a crescendo in a symphony. Julie, with her storied past of heartbreaks and triumphs, finds in Foster a kindred spirit, someone who appreciates her strength without trying to overshadow it. Their conversations in the hospital are laced with flirtation, soft laughter echoing down the halls, hands brushing accidentally, or not, and confessions that hint at deeper emotions. "I feel like I've been given a second chance," Foster says, his voice husky with emotion, while Julie's eyes sparkle with unspoken hope. But is this genuine affection, or is Foster using her as a gateway into Salem's power structures? Julie's connections run deep, through the Hortons, the Bradys, and beyond. Gaining her trust could open doors to information, influence, or even revenge against old foes. We at TV Days Drama Digest have been scouring fan forums and rewatching episodes to piece together clues. One theory that's gaining traction: Foster's son in California isn't just a convenient plot point. What if the job his son secured is tied to a D'Mera enterprise? Stefano's empire extends far beyond Salem, with tendrils in tech, pharmaceuticals, and international intrigue. Perhaps Foster's decision to stay is a protective measure, shielding his family from dangers that lurk in the Golden State. Or, more dramatically, what if Foster himself is a D'Mera operative, sent back to Salem under a new guise to reclaim lost assets or settle scores? The bookstore could be a front, a repository for hidden documents, encrypted messages, or even a portal to underground tunnels, because why not in Salem? Let's expand on the bookstore itself, shall we? This isn't just any quaint shop. It's a character in its own right, brimming with potential for drama. Rows of leather-bound classics hide compartments for secret letters, and the back room could conceal a safe with incriminating evidence. Foster's reluctance to reclaim it from Julie might be a strategic retreat, allowing him to observe from afar while Julie unwittingly becomes the guardian of his secrets. Imagine the scene: Julie sorting through inventory late at night, the dim lamp casting long shadows, when she stumbles upon a hidden journal or a faded photograph linking Foster to Stefano. Her gasp of realization, the camera zooming in on her widened eyes, pure soap gold. Of course, we can't discuss Foster without touching on the broader Salem ecosystem. How does he fit into the ongoing sagas? Will his presence intersect with the likes of E.J. D'Mera, who's carrying on his father's legacy with ruthless ambition? Or perhaps with Sammy Brady, whose own history of schemes could mirror or clash with Foster's hidden agenda? The possibilities are endless, and that's what keeps us coming back week after week. Foster's new man persona feels like a rebirth, but in soaps, rebirths often come with baggage, amnesia, identity swaps, or supernatural elements that defy logic but delight the audience. Now let's get personal, viewers. What do you think of this man? Is Foster a knight in shining armor, genuinely reformed and ready for love with Julie? Or is he a wolf in sheep's clothing, his mysterious aura a harbinger of chaos? We've seen polls on our channel's social media exploding with opinions. One fan theorizes that Foster's health scare was engineered by a rival, perhaps a subtle nod to Stefano's infamous poisoning plots. Another suggests a romantic triangle brewing, with Julie torn between Foster and her lingering ties to Doug or other suitors. The drama potential is off the charts. To make this even more immersive, let's role-play a bit. Imagine you're Julie, standing by Foster's bedside, your hand on his as he vows to stay. The air is thick with unspoken words, the hospital's hum fading into the background. Or put yourself in Foster's shoes, the weight of secrets pressing down, the temptation to confess warring with the need to protect those around you. It's these human elements, the vulnerability, the passion, the betrayal, that elevate days of our lives from mere entertainment to a cultural phenomenon. As we wrap up this epic dissection, though we could go on forever, remember that Salem's stories are ever evolving. Foster's decision to stay might be the spark that ignites a firestorm of revelations. Will his connection to Stefano unravel in a spectacular confrontation, complete with dramatic music swells and cliffhanger endings? Will Julie's heart lead her to bliss or heartbreak? Only time and the writers will tell. But one thing's for certain, we're hooked, and we hope you are too. What's your wildest theory about Foster? Hit that like button if you're as obsessed as we are, and subscribe for more breakdowns, spoilers, and behind-the-scenes scoops. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.